Last night we had a bunch of games on. The first one that I want to bring up was the Cleveland Cavaliers losing to a Utah Jazz team, 123 to 112. This season for the Cavaliers has been up and down. They recently had a stretch, was it like last week, where they won 3 games in a row against some quality, solid teams. You know, was hoping that they were turning the page. And I feel like we've had this over the course of the year where it feels like they may be turning the corner, getting back to that Cavaliers team of last year. And every time we kind of feel like we're on the brinks of that, they take a setback. What were y'all thoughts? What are y'all current thoughts on the landscape of this team and the future of them after a loss like this?
Watching this game, it feels like they need some type of guy that's going to be like a physicality type guy, some type of enforcer, some guy that's going to wake them up. Because this team feels soft.
Dylan Brooks energy.
This team feels a little soft. For them to have Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley in this game, and Yusuf Nurkic he looked pretty damn good. He had like 17 boards. He had a bunch of steals and a bunch of blocks. You should be able to kind of limit that and outplay that. I felt like he did a pretty good job of just locking down the paint. The Cavs shot like 50% in the paint, which is one of the areas you want to be able to kind of thrive in, especially when you're just not shooting the ball that well. And on the other side, Keontae George has continued to be a star. I didn't think the Cavs really had an answer at all for him. And then one more guy I'm consistently looking at is DeAndre Hunter. He was on fire. He was legit Mr. Can't Miss last year. Now he's not doing none of that.
Yeah, we got a little thing we're doing for the YouTube show. He's definitely on that list.
100%.
It didn't even seem like Isaiah Collier was doing whatever he wanted on the court. It seemed like they just was like a step behind defensively. Like they just would, like the pace that the Jazz was playing with, they just couldn't keep up. Like Isaiah Collier came off the bench and he was just pushing the tempo. And even though he wasn't scoring, he was getting assists and making plays.
Which is his main trait for anybody that looked at a scouting report.
He was just getting 2 feet in the paint and just cashing it out to shooters. And then it was one play where he's going 103 on a fast break, and the Cavs just think he's just gonna pull out. No, he just hits Evan Mobley with a crossover and boom, open layup. And I'm just like, y'all let that man just walk to the basket on a 1-on-3 fast break.
That's been the Cavaliers this year. They somehow lost their, I guess, identity defensively. It just doesn't have that same feel.
Which is crazy because they have the same starting 5.
Yeah. And so the things that you're saying, for the most part, because I guess DeAndre Hunter kind of has started a little bit this season more than last year. But no, really, they do have the same team and starters for the same course of the year. I don't know. I had some hope for them to turn the season around. I still can't close the book all the way because we've seen teams do certain things in the playoffs that we didn't see all regular season, whether that was the Pacers last year, the Knicks last year. Remember, the Knicks couldn't beat a quality team to save their life last year, and everybody ruled them out, and then they went on a Eastern Conference Finals run. Because the playoffs is always going to be matchup-based, and because the playoffs is also about timing, right, a little bit of luck, can the team you go against have an injury? Will they be healthy? Will you be the healthy team? Will a guy out of nowhere just start to just catch fire at the right time in the playoffs? Because of those things, you can't entirely close the book on them. But for the most part, I do think that this is going to be another one of those years where they face some disappointment. And I think this is the last version of this team that we're going to see. Mike, you hit it on the head for me. I mean, for this team to have a double big lineup in today's game, they don't really control the glass on a night-in, night basis that you would like. And last night was a prime example of that, except they're going against a team that is 11 games below 500 and don't really have a dominant inside presence, and they lost the rebound battle by 20. Utah had 50 rebounds. The Cavaliers had 30 rebounds.
That's just effort. And it's like the Evan Mobley that we saw going against Rudy Gobert the other day, and he said that I saw him in front of me, and I knew every time that I seen him, I had to be extremely aggressive.
You didn't get that one last night?
I don't get why he doesn't play with this mentality every game. Why is it just when he sees Rudy Gobert in front of him?
I've looked at Evan Mobley a little bit more, too, just because the way he started the season, we were thinking that offensively he would really have that jump. But
I mean, he had to jump last year. We thought that there would be some form of progression.
They kind of need a jump from him.
They've definitely been relying and preparing themselves on an Evan Mobley jump. And a part of the conversation feels unfair because Evan Mobley is still a really good player, having a really good year, and you like that. But the Cavaliers have built themselves on Donovan Mitchell being a premier guard and then this Evan Mobley evolution where he is 1,000% your best player on both sides of the floor, and then you have quality surrounding pieces in Darius Garland and Jared Allen, that would be enough. That hasn't been enough. They need some dog. They need some fight. It feels like a broken record. Everybody is echoing that. And then they might have to look internally for some even more talent because they have had some guys that have been a bit disappointed.